All right, let's talk about a really simple change you can make that's going to make your English sound so much more colorful and impressive. We're going to do it by focusing on just one little rule that can totally upgrade your vocabulary. So let me ask you this. Do you ever feel like you're a bit stuck? Like you're just using the same basic words over and over and over again? Hey, it's a super common habit, especially when you're speaking a lot. You find a few words that work and you just kind of stick with them. And, often the main culprit is this one tiny word, very. We all lean on it, right? We use it with words like so and really as a bit of a crutch. We say very good, very sad, very big. Look, it gets the job done, but it also makes our descriptions sound a little, well, dull.
I mean, just look at the difference here. The performance was very good. Okay, fine, we get the point. But the performance was exceptional. Now that has power. It's got energy. It paints a much, much clearer picture in your head, doesn't it? And that is the upgrade we're aiming for.
So let's really dive into why this matters. Using basic words is a perfectly good start, but if you want to sound more interesting, more fluent, and even more influential, you've got to expand the vocabulary that you actively use every day. So here it is, the core strategy. We're going to call it the one-word upgrade rule. It's simple. By training yourself to stop using the word very, you literally force your brain to go hunting for a better, more precise adjective. This one little change makes you so much more conscious of your word choices. All right, let's get to it and build that toolkit. We are going to start swapping out those tired very phrases for some really powerful expressive alternatives. And we'll start with some of the most common feelings that we try to describe every single day. So, take happy. It's not just one feeling, is it? You've got to ask yourself, are you just happy or are you completely overjoyed? Are you feeling excited too? Then you're probably thrilled. And what if it's this overwhelming, can't control it kind of joy? Then you're ecstatic or elated. Every single one of these words carries a different weight. And check out the impact this has. She was very happy is a flat statement. But when you say she was ecstatic, wow, you can almost feel the joy just bursting out of that sentence. The emotion is so much clearer and so much stronger. Okay, now for the other end of the spectrum, very sad. With this one, context is everything. Are you just unhappy about how something turned out? Then you're disappointed. Is love involved? Heartbroken is the perfect word. And what if that sadness is mixed with a sudden, terrible shock? Well, devastated is the one you're looking for. Let's take an example. He was very sad when he lost is pretty vague. But if you say he was devastated, you're communicating so much more, right? You're implying he was sure he was going to win, so the loss wasn't just sad, it was a complete shock to his system. You see the nuance there? It's huge. And now, for what is probably the most overused phrase of them all, very good. Here are 6 powerful, versatile upgrades you can use in almost any situation. So instead of, that's a very good idea, try, that's a marvelous idea, or that's an excellent idea. It just instantly sounds more intelligent and, frankly, more sincere. Now on the flip side, we have very bad. You want to be a little careful with these alternatives because they're strong. They can even sound offensive if you use them to describe, say, a person or their work. Words like awful and dreadful are fantastic for things like bad weather or food, while a word like atrocious is often saved for truly, truly terrible behavior. And here's a little pro tip for you. With these really strong adjectives, you can add even more power just by emphasizing the stressed syllable. So don't just say atrocious. Say, it was atrocious. Can you hear that? That little bit of emphasis adds a whole other layer of meaning and emotion to your speech. So, let's look at an example. The weather was very bad could mean, well, it could mean anything. A little drizzle, maybe? But the weather was atrocious. That paints a picture of violent storms, howling wind, maybe even lightning. It's so much more dramatic and descriptive. Okay, you ready for some rapid-fire upgrades? Let's go. Instead of very big, say huge, enormous, or massive. For very small, try tiny or minuscule. A very dirty room isn't just dirty, it's filthy. And a very clean one, that's spotless or even immaculate. Very pretty can become stunning, and very ugly becomes hideous. See? Simple, powerful swaps that make a massive difference. Okay, so you've seen the words, now it's time to make them a part of your active vocabulary. We're going to do a quick recall quiz. Just answer as fast as you possibly can. You ready? Okay, first one. How would you upgrade very sad in this specific context? Now think about the shock and the tragedy of the situation. What's the word? If you said devastated, you are exactly right. It is the perfect word here because it combines that deep, deep sadness with that element of a terrible shock. All right, next one. You look over and see this huge line of people. What's a better word for it than very big? And for this one, you actually had a few great options: huge, enormous, or massive. Any of them creates a much stronger visual in your mind than just plain old very big. And for our final question, imagine a card that's usually a complete mess, but today it's perfect. What's the word you're looking for? The best words here are spotless or immaculate. Both of them imply a perfect, almost surprising level of cleanliness. So, how'd you do? Great job on that quiz. But now for the big question. How do you make this a real, lasting habit? Well, let's talk about the single most effective way to practice this. The absolute key is to get real-time feedback. Find a speaking partner, a friend, or a tutor, and give them one simple job. Every single time they hear you say the word very, they have to stop you. That's it. In that moment, you pause, you think, and you replace it with a better word. Trust me, that act of self-correction in the moment is what locks this new vocabulary into your brain for good. So, that's your mission. This simple change is going to make you sound more fluent, more intelligent, and way more expressive. And it all starts with just one decision. So what's the first very phrase that you are going to upgrade starting right now?